everyone, and thank you for watching my show tonight. I'm your host, Tim Finnegan, and tonight I'd like to get into some good news for you. For those of you that may have seen John Krasinski's videos with some good news, I've got to say I've been inspired by those videos so much that I decided to create my own video of some good news, which you'll be seeing tonight. Do you ever have days where you feel like you're spending too much time on the news, or on the internet, or on social media, and you're just scrolling through the news feed with a bunch of articles and things like that? Well, you've come to the right place. I've learned over time that we may need to take a break from the news at times, especially if we're already going through some hard times, or we're going through uncertainty, or we're just going through a lot in general, and we should especially follow the good news at times. So now I'm going to take it away, and here's to some good news in Madison, Wisconsin.
Now at Warner Park, where the Madison Mallards normally have their baseball season, they temporarily turned it into a drive-in movie theater. And it's been becoming popular, a lot of people have gone, and it's been a lot of fun. I even went one night to see the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and that was a lot of fun. I also recently got my hair cut after not getting my hair cut for 4 months. The barber shops have reopened in Wisconsin, and they've been taking their safety precautions, and it was wonderful to get a haircut after not getting a haircut for 4 months, and it's great to see that the barber shops have reopened and that they're taking safety precautions and being safe and everything. Here's another thing I did recently to keep myself active. I went for a long bike ride to Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, and had lunch at the Grumpy Troll. Mount Horeb is a city that's west of Madison. I started my ride from a park and ride in Verona. From there to Mount Horeb was 6.5 miles each way, so I rode my bike about 13 miles, which was great exercise. And I enjoyed a great lunch at the Grumpy Troll when I sat at their outdoor tables. I also recently drove up to Wisconsin Dells on a Saturday night, and that's about a 1-hour drive from Madison. While I was in the Dells, I stopped for dinner at the mac and cheese shop, and that was a lot of fun. I also walked around the town, and then I went to the drive-in movie theater over there, and that was a lot of fun too. Drive-in movie theaters have been becoming more popular these days, and they've been making comebacks, and when I've been to those drive-in movie theaters, they feel just like the old days of drive-in theaters. When I was at the drive-in theater in the Dells, they played the movies Zootopia, and then The Avengers, and it was a double feature, and that was a lot of fun. It was definitely worth the drive, and I recommend going to drive-in theaters, especially in a time like this. Now, the Henry Vila Zoo in Madison has recently reopened. It's a great zoo, and they're taking their safety precautions right now. Those include wearing a mask when walking through the zoo, which is recommended for visitors who are going to the zoo. And another safety precaution is that they have created a one-way path of traffic for visitors walking through the zoo and visiting with the animals. Now, one of my favorite zoo animals is a giraffe. When I was at the Henry Vila Zoo that day, I got to see a great close-up of the giraffe, and that was a lot of fun. I also got to see the camels, the flamingos, the turtles, the grizzly bears, and the polar bears. I even got in a great picture with Bucky Badger at the zoo. That was a lot of fun. Although I couldn't sit right next to Bucky Badger on the bench, I was still able to get a great view with the statue of him in the background for my picture. I had a great time at the Henry Vila Zoo that day, and if you ever visit Madison, I highly recommend the Henry Vila Zoo. On the 4th of July, although there were not a lot of fireworks open to the public this year, I could still hear fireworks from a distance, and there was a full moon in Madison that night, which was nice. One way I was able to celebrate America's Independence Day this year was by lighting a sparkler outside, and that was a wonderful way to say happy birthday to America.
Now that was my good news from Madison. Now I'd like to turn it over to a special guest on my show tonight who will be sharing some good news in Chicago. This guy has appeared in some of my previous videos that I've directed, including my Welcome to Chicago video, one of my Batman and Spider-Man films, and this guy's a good friend of mine that I've known for many years, so ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Jarrett Goldman!
Well, thank you, Tim, and thank you for having me on the show. Hi everyone, my name is Jarrett Goldman, and right now I'd like to tell you a little bit about some good news I have to share right here from Chicago. So the first thing I have to share with you is that over the summer I've been able to continue to do some incredible work for the people at the Erickson Institute where I'm interning as a film intern. I've had that internship for about a year now, Erickson Institute is a graduate school for childhood development, and I've been able to create some really cool films, and I've been doing some really cool subtitling work for films, for educational videos that are going to be going all the way out to educators in China. The next other bit of good news that I've had was that I was finally able to go to the Chicago Botanic Garden again after months, finally just in time for the spring-summer season. It's beautiful out there. They've had walking trails that they've had open, and it's been very socially distanced. I would highly recommend anyone who's in the area to go to the Chicago Botanic Garden. It's super safe, it's beautiful this time of year, and you should check it out. The other good news I have was that I was able to go to a quote-unquote movie theater, the first time also in quite some time. This was a makeshift movie theater that was held in my friend's backyard in the city. They took together a bed sheet, and they were able to put chairs spaced out apart from each other. We were able to watch the classic movie Jaws, so that was a lot of fun. I've also been able to do something I've really loved doing, which is convert old movie tapes. These are old VHS tapes, old camcorder tapes of myself and of my family. Tapes I haven't seen ever in my life. In 23 years, I've never seen these tapes. Tapes of me from when I was a baby all the way to when I was 5 years old. So that's been a lot of fun. And I've also been able to do the same thing for the incredible autism after-school program called Have Dreams, which helps anywhere from kids all the way up to adulthood do lots of different amazing, incredible things. So I've been converting tapes from their archives. And finally, the thing I think I'm most proud of is that after 5 very long years, I was finally able to get this. This is my degree, my Bachelor of Arts degree in Film and Television from DePaul University. So I'm absolutely incredibly proud. This is the best news that I've gotten in a very, very long time. And I absolutely look forward to using this degree, to using my talents in editing to help tell the stories of people whose stories are deserved to be told. That's my good news. I hope you've enjoyed hearing my good news, and I hope you can go out and make some good news yourself. Tim, thank you again for having me on the show.
Thank you, Jarrett. Wow, that was great news about some wonderful things happening in Chicago, and in Madison too. Well, that concludes good news for tonight, and in just a moment I'd like to turn it over to Batman and Spider-Man, who will end this video with some disco dancing to celebrate all this good news. Remember, as John Krasinski would say, no matter how hard things get, there is always good in the world. Thank you for watching tonight, and I will see you next time.